Hello everyone, we are back for our fourth and probably last video in the standard run. Here we are starting out. We're going to start out at Link's house. It's the quickest way to get down to Swamp Palace. And just to remind everyone, I'm in Go mode. I have everything I need, so we are going to do this quickly. We just have Swamp Palace, Ganons Tower, and Ganon himself. Now, since I had the flute, I could have started at the mountain flute, get a full health refill by kissing the old man, but I'm just gonna go in. This is pretty safe. I've got red mail, I've got gold sword, I've got everything I need. So there is a hint tile in Swamp Palace that you can get to. If you drain the dam, you have to have flippers. If you don't drain the dam, then you don't need flippers, but I'm going to be skipping it because I don't need to know where anything else is. I even have the silver arrows, which is helpful. It means that the Ganon fight will be just a little bit quicker. So, just got to drain this dam. And then we'll be making our way inside. Swamp Palace is one of those dungeons that people love to hate. It has 6 items in it, so there's a lot of things you could find in it. There's been so many Go modes that have been completed in Swamp Palace just because of how many items there are. The problem with it is that there are 2 sides to it. That will always be a key, by the way. There is an item off to the left here, but I'm going to be skipping it because I do not need it. But the left side of Swamp, it takes a long time to get to, and sometimes you're only going to get 1 item out of it. So speedrunners love to skip it. In fact, there's even a hint tile that will say what's on the left side of Swamp, and if you find it, you'll probably be pretty pleased, because then you'll know, oh, I don't need to go there, or oh no, I need to go there. But because we're in Go mode, we're just getting what we need. So we skipped 1 item already because we just didn't need it. Now we're going to flood this area. And then we're going to make our way straight to Argus. Get out the hookshot because I will need to get 1 small key. But thankfully, it is easy to get. And here we go. Now we have every single item we need to complete this dungeon. You don't actually need the big key to beat this dungeon. Fun fact. Which is part of the reason why this is so fast. Gonna do a little tiny trick here, because you could push this up and then pull that up as well, so you don't have to pick it up and then drag the container. It's not that big a deal, but hey, every little bit helps. And down we go. Drain this area. Now, if we were to go through this door and then go south, there are, again, 2 more items. And I am going to skip them. Pushing this 3rd block up creates another item. Again, not necessary. So you see there's a lot of things that could have gone differently in this run, which meant that Swamp Palace would be full of things for me. And down, and here we are going to Argus's room. Because I have the gold sword, it's not going to be a very difficult fight. And silver arrows too. And here we are. Sometimes you have to fight him with the fighter sword or the hammer, and that's not fun. Alright. There are some people who can do a trick with item dashing, sort of, and they can kill Argus before he even tries to swirl around his puffs like that. They call it one-cycling him. I'm not good enough for that, but that's okay. I'm trying to hit him. So if you hit Argus with one silver arrow, he dies. But I'm having a lot of trouble with that, so I'll just kill him with the gold sword. And there we go. Swamp Palace took me about 3 minutes to complete. That is the power of Go Mode Swamp. That's why I saved this dungeon for last. So we have all 7 crystals now. We have everything we need to beat Ganon's Tower. And now we're going to play something that speedrunners call the Ganon's Tower guessing game. So in Ganon's Tower, there are 22 chests in the bottom area that can contain the big key. So it is kind of turned into a game where people try to guess which one is it going to be. Is it going to be early on? Is it going to be later on? Do you have to make your way all the way to Isar most? Do you have to skip that? Do you get to skip them entirely, or do you have to go and do Tile Room? Here I am just turning in the mushroom because I want to get potions anyways, and it's right here, and I'm kind of curious. A heart piece. Not really useful, but whatever. Alright, I'm going to grab a blue potion. I already have a red one, so I think with red mail, a whole bunch of heart containers, gold sword, silver arrows, I'm about as well equipped as I can be, and a blue potion and a red potion, I should be fine to beat Ganon. So I'm going to make my way up the tower, and I'm not going to speculate as to what key it will be, well, what chest it will be, but there are 2 sides to Ganon's Tower. There is the right side and the left side. There's more checks if you go to the left, but if it's in the right side, then you kind of waste time. So it all is relative. However you feel like you want to go. Since this isn't an actual speed run, I'm getting confused here. Hold on. There we go. Okay, I figured it out. But since this is an actual speed run, it doesn't matter if I save time or not. But oh no, wrong item. There we go. But if this was an actual speed run, you'd want to try to maximize your checks, while if you feel like you're behind, you'll want to try to maybe make a gamble or two. I'm going to ignore these 2 chests here. Again, the only things that it could kind of have is like the powder, which would be handy to have. I don't need the boomerangs. They don't really do anything for me. The Cane of Burna, again, isn't useful. So there's really maybe a shield upgrade, but even then, I don't really care. So basically, it all comes down to safety. These Lionels are just as bad as they are in Breath of the Wild. But these came first. So again, most of the cutscenes and text boxes have been removed from this hack, just because, again, speedrunners don't want to have to go through a whole bunch of text boxes. So that scene is mercifully short. Alright, I'm going to go to the right side of Ganon's Tower first, because there's 2 chests here. If I get a key, I can go on. If not, I'll probably go to the left side. Alright, so here we go, start the game. Chest 1 is... Chest 1 is the big key. Okay. Alright, that's unexpected. That's not enough, though. You actually need to also have a small key to go up Ganon's Tower, because there are 2 locked doors. So I'm going to go get another key. Bob's torch has the shovel. Probably we'll see Bob in a later run, but we're not going to see him this time. Alright, there we go. There's my small key, guaranteed to be there. In an alternate universe, perhaps I had forgotten to get a small key, and went all the way up the tower, and then made it to a locked door, and then couldn't go any further. You know, that might have happened, but it didn't. And now we're just making our way. This is going to be the reason that you need the bow in Ganon's Tower. These red mimic guys. Only way to kill them is to hit him with the bow and arrow. And I'll get there eventually. There we go. I figured out how to move them. Oop, oop. I'll get him. I'll get him eventually, guys. There we are. Alright, one more room of them. So yeah, this is the entire reason that Ganon's Tower requires the bow to complete. Because you don't actually need the bow to beat Ganon. There are some glitches that'll allow you to bypass it, but there are sometimes going to be a seed where, let's say, Eastern Palace and Palace of Darkness are both pendants, which means that the bow can be in Ganon's Tower. I have seen the bow actually be in Ganon's Tower big chest because the logic doesn't require it until that point. So that's always fun. I am going to take a quick stopover right here. I'm going to do a little bonk trick here. If you start a dash and then kind of quickly change your direction, you bounce like that, and it allows you to get to the other side. It's actually developer intended, believe it or not. There's a couple of places that they expect you to do that. But I'm going to go get these fairies, fill up my health. I have potions, but I knew these fairies would be here, so I'm going to skip by. And now we're going to go and start the gauntlet. So the gauntlet is a series of rooms, and they get increasingly harder. So we start out with the some skeletons and conveyor belts, and then we throw in an Armos statue just for good measure in this one. And having the full health was actually detrimental because of the sword beams was not killing enemies like the gold sword would. Alright, next room. Well, now we've got spikes and 2 Armos and still conveyor belts. What fun. That room went much easier though. Now we introduce all those same things and ice. Alright, got him down. And now we're about to enter the last room of the gauntlet. No more conveyor belts, but tons and tons of ice. And if I'm going to get smacked in the face by a beam. And now I'm going to go and fight my first refight, because we can skip Ice Armos. And we're going to go fight Landmolus. If I can do it, nope. Nope. So, Landmolus 2, if you have silver arrows, you see they all die in one hit to silver arrows. I'm running out of arrows, I'm not timing it right, so I'm just going to go and try to finish this last one off with the sword. I'm taking hits, this is just embarrassing. I'm sorry you all had to watch this. So now we're going to go up, and I'm going to try a little trick with the Wizrobes. Nope. Mess it up. Mess it up again. So, if you place it right, you can get all 3 of them with one Cane of Samaria block. It's very satisfying when you do it right, but I didn't. And I'm starting to get low on health, so I'm going to just go on. Having the gold sword here is just so nice. There, that's a little bit better. That room is probably the fastest way you can do it. Alright, I feel a little bit redeemed. Alright, I'm going to pop a potion here probably, because I'm a little low on health. This next room is usually kind of tough for me. So here we go, fill up to full. I still have a blue potion. The reason I'm saving the blue potion is because even though I have half magic, I still don't want to run out of magic in the Ganon fight. I hope I don't need it, because the fight should go fast, but still. So this room actually is interesting because you can potentially end up in a situation where you despawn Ganon's Tower. You get through this door here. Now if you go up the stairs when... Yeah, okay, that's why I waited there. If you go up the stairs at the same time that the torches unlight, then everything up here will despawn, and you will not be able to progress. You have to go all the way, exit the tower, and come back. There's a guaranteed key drop here, so there's the first door. And we're almost to the top here. I always like that trick, it's a little satisfying. I wish I had powder, because then I would be able to powder these anti-fairies and get some more health back. But I at least will know I have full magic. There's the last key door, and here we have the Moldorm 2 fight. Unlike the first time I fought him, this one should go a lot easier. I've got Gold Sword, and he's got the same amount of health. There we go. And this is the validation chest. Earlier... the powder. Nice. Oh, and we're going to hookshot through this block. Just save a little bit of time. Earlier versions of the randomizer, they didn't have the hash at the beginning screen, so people couldn't validate that they were on the exact same seed. So they would check that chest, and right after Moldorm, and if it had the same item, that's how they validated it. But we don't have to do that anymore. Now it's just a meme. Alright, I'm about to enter my geometry test, so let's see how I fare. 3 Aghanim's. He takes 6 hits to go down. You can get a triple if you try really hard. And I am not even... okay, I'm failing geometry today. Yeah, and the main Aghanim can still do blue balls. The other ones can't. So I've gotten 2 hits so far. Not a whole lot. Nope. 3 hits. If I die to Aghanim 2, I'm going to be so disappointed in myself. 4 hits. Alright, so only 1 more hit, and then we're done with him. Alright, there we go. I did it. Some bad positioning, but also just bad bouncing. Also, it turns out that Aghanim was Ganon all along! And there comes the bird to rescue us. He does that even if you don't have the flute. And also, he does it in the Dark World, which you normally can't. So, there's your plot hole, guys. Alright, now we can go fight Ganon. But I don't want to. What I really want is, there's a fairy in the tree down here. I'm going to use that to heal up, because 3 hearts is just not enough for me to feel comfortable. Even though I have the blue potion, I'd rather save it. Alright, this is better. Now let's go fight Ganon. And let's see what he has to say. He has one of the few text boxes in the game. He usually gives you some interesting facts. Today? Well, Ganon is very cynical. So Ganon has 4 phases to the fight. This is phase 1, where he just kind of throws his staff around. We're about to enter phase 2, where he summons these fire bats. I don't remember exactly how many hits it is with the gold sword. I think it's 6 per phase. I'm pretty sure we're entering... yep, here's phase 3, where he darts around. You just have to hit him 4 more times, and he drops one of the edges each time off the arena. Alright, that's 2. After this, in phase 4, if you're quick enough, you can get what's called the torch glitch, which will cause the torch on the right to stay lit no matter what, and so you only have to light the left one. But, man, stop moving. But I'm probably not going to succeed. Okay, here we are, phase 4. And I failed the torch glitch, so we're going to keep going. But I have the fire rod, I have plenty of magic. We're going to go ahead and light this up. Alright, so Ganon takes 4 silver arrows. That was 2. That's great. I like that. Alright, 3. 1 more silver arrow, and we are done. I'm just going to wait for him to come to me. And there we go. All I have to do is cross this tiny 3x3 3-pixel bridge, and we have completed the seed. And our winning message is... OMG. Appropriate. And so there you have it. This is the randomizer. You've seen a full run from start to finish. The ending sequence is changed. It actually will give you some information that you wouldn't have otherwise. Like, it'll tell you what was on the certain locations. But for the most part, this is just going to be the standard ending sequence. There are some interesting stats at the end, so I'm going to run this all the way out to the end. If you're interested, you obviously aren't required to watch. But I'm going to do a little bit of seed retrospective right now. So this seed overall was not too bad. It took me about 2 hours to complete it. I didn't complete it all in one sitting. I did it over, again, 4 sittings. So it was fairly casual. Probably an experienced runner would have been able to do that in maybe an hour and a half or so. The fact that Agadim was required is unfortunate. It did slow things down a significant amount. But once we made it into the Dark World, things opened up fairly quickly. And the fact that we didn't even have to go into Ice Palace or Misery Mire, that is pretty awesome. So we completely ignored 2 of the longer pendant dungeons. We did have to go into Eastern Palace for the flute. That was required because of the fact that the ice rod was on Checkerboard Cave. So, things that I could have done differently. Well, first off, there was a lot of hits that I took that I didn't need to. I didn't die much. I only died the one time in Tower Rock, so that went well. But I should have gone into Thieves Town a little bit sooner than I did. And maybe I should have gone for Agadim a little bit earlier. But overall, I'm not going to beat myself up about this because, again, this is just a game and I wanted to have some fun. So, I'm going to just leave this to run till the very end. And feel free to watch. There's going to be a whole bunch of stats at the end. Very interesting stuff if you're into that kind of thing. But I will see you all next time for a slightly different run. We'll see. It'll either be inverted or key sanity, depending on how people vote. And if it's key sanity, well, you're going to be able to watch me look around the entire world for the single Swamp Palace key or the Desert key. Or if it's inverted, you get to see me go up against Blind, probably with a hammer and 3 hearts. So either way, it should be plenty exciting for you and maybe an exercise in frustration for me. Until next time, though, I will see you.